Have you ever stood outside a room and heard your baby talking to no one? And for a second felt a strange little ache in your chest because it sounded so private, so complete, so untouched by you? You know that sound. The soft babbling, the sudden laugh, the serious little whisper into the dark, like they are in the middle of a conversation you were never invited into. And if you are honest, part of what unsettles you is this. Your baby already has a life happening inside them, and you cannot fully follow it. When your baby talks to themselves, you might think it is random noise, a cute habit, something small enough to smile at and move past. But it is often one of the earliest signs that a mind is beginning to hold itself together. Before a child can explain fear, ask for comfort, or tell you what they remember. They rehearse being alive out loud. They repeat sounds that calm them. They replay moments they did not understand the first time. They test what a voice can do when no one interrupts. And what sounds meaningless to you can be the beginning of meaning for them. Not polished meaning, not adult meaning, but raw private thought in its first fragile form. The first thing you hear in that self-talk is practice, not performance practice. Your baby is not always trying to communicate with you when they babble in the crib or murmur while stacking blocks on the floor. Sometimes they are discovering how thought feels when it moves through the mouth. They make a sound, hear it back, and realize they can affect the silence. That matters more than it seems. A child learns that the world does not only happen to them, they can answer it. Even before words are clear, they are experimenting with rhythm, control, and intention. In a very real way, they are trying on personhood. That is why the tone changes so much. One moment they sound playful, the next serious, then soothing, then almost stern. They are rehearsing roles before they know what roles are. They are finding out what kind of presence their own voice creates in the room. The second thing hiding in that monologue is memory. Babies and toddlers repeat sounds and phrases because experience does not settle neatly inside them the way it does inside you. Something happens, a dog barks, a spoon falls, you laugh too loudly, a stranger leans in too close, a bedtime song plays, and later that event comes back out in pieces. Not as a clean story, but as fragments, a repeated word, a certain tone. The same little scene acted out again and again. When your baby seems to be chatting with the wall or murmuring into a stuffed animal, they may be sorting through what happened earlier, especially moments that carried surprise, delight, or stress. Repetition is one of the mind's oldest ways of making experience less overwhelming. Adults do this too, only we hide it better. We tell the same story. We replay the same argument in the shower. We say something over and over until it feels smaller. Babies just do it openly, because they have not yet learned to disguise the work of understanding. Another thing they may be saying is comfort. This is one of the parts parents miss because it can sound so ordinary. A baby who softly repeats the same syllables while lying alone may be doing more than filling silence. They may be borrowing a feeling they once received from you. Your tone becomes their tone. The rhythm of your reassurance becomes the rhythm they try on for themselves. If they have heard gentle words at bedtime, if they have felt a hand on their back, if they have been soothed through tears often enough, they start to imitate that safety when you are not there. It is one of the most moving things a human being does, learning to become their own comfort by first being comforted well. And the opposite can be true too. Sharp environments leave echoes. Tension leaves echoes. Babies do not understand your schedule, your financial stress, your private grief, but they absorb pace, volume, and atmosphere. So when they talk to themselves, sometimes they are not inventing a voice at all. Sometimes they are returning yours to the room. And then there is imagination, which shows up earlier than many people think. You may hear your baby babbling to a toy, pausing as if listening, then answering again with absolute seriousness. It looks adorable, and it is, but it is also astonishing. This is the beginning of symbolic thought, the mind learning that one thing can stand in for another. A bear can become a friend, a spoon can become an airplane, a few sounds can become a whole relationship. When babies talk to themselves in play, they are often building tiny worlds where feelings can move around more safely. They can become the comforter instead of the one needing comfort. They can become the one who leaves and the one who returns. They can repeat a daily event until it feels predictable enough to trust. This is not empty fantasy. It is emotional engineering. It is how a small child takes a life that often feels big and confusing and turns it into something they can hold in their hands. Here is one that stays with you once you notice it. Sometimes self-talk is the first visible shape of loneliness. Not always sadness, not always distress, but the ache of social need trying to keep itself company. Human beings are built for response. Babies expect faces, voices, touch, reaction. So when they chatter into empty space, part of what you may be hearing is the brain maintaining connection even in the absence of another person. They create a call and answer by themselves because being unresponded to for too long feels wrong at the level of the nervous system. This does not mean every child who babbles alone is lonely. Far from it. Solitary play is healthy. Private sound is healthy. But there are moments when the tone tells you something deeper. The repeated calling sound, the bright little performance with no witness, the way a child turns toward the doorway after speaking. Sometimes what they are saying is not a word at all. Sometimes it is anybody there? And they do not yet know how to ask it plainly. The next thing is harder to hear because it asks something of you. Babies talk to themselves when they are trying to organize feelings too big for their age. Frustration, waiting, excitement that has nowhere to go, fear they cannot name. If you watch closely, you will notice that self-talk often rises right after a rupture, after being told no, after separation, after overstimulation, after a confusing handoff, after a hard transition from play to sleep. Adults imagine regulation as something quiet and composed, but early regulation is messy. It spills out in sounds, repeated phrases, little speeches to the air. Your child is trying to bring themselves back to center with the only tools they have. That effort deserves respect, not because every babble contains hidden genius, but because self-organization is sacred work, especially when it appears in such a small person. A lot of what becomes resilience later begins here, in the crib, on the carpet, in the back seat, with a child trying to steady their own inner weather, using a voice that still sounds unfinished. And then there is the deepest layer, identity. When babies talk to themselves, they are not only rehearsing language or replaying the day. They are slowly separating self from world. This is me. This is my sound. This is what I do when I am alone. This is how I exist when no one names me. That matters because the first relationship a person has is not with society, not with school, not even with family in the way adults mean it. The first relationship is with experience itself. Warmth, hunger, waiting, surprise, relief, delight. Self-talk becomes one of the first bridges between feeling something and recognizing that you are the one feeling it. You could almost say a private voice is where a private self begins. And that can stir something uneasy in you as a parent, because it means your child is not simply becoming attached to you, they are becoming someone beside you, loved by you, shaped by you, but still separate. That is the quiet heartbreak inside raising a child. As if you do it well, the person who once needed your every touch slowly becomes audible to themselves. So what should you actually do when you hear it? First, do not rush to interrupt every private conversation your baby has. Let some of it breathe. Let them have moments where thought can unfold without being turned into performance for an adult. Watch before you step in. Listen for tone more than words. If the self-talk sounds calm, absorbed, playful, or gently repetitive, you are probably hearing healthy mental work. Protect it. If it sounds distressed, frantic, frozen, or unusually flat for long stretches, respond with presence, not panic. Sit near them. Offer a simple phrase. Mirror calm. Give language to feelings without taking over the whole moment. And above all, notice what kind of voice your child has borrowed from the world around them. Because one day, the voice they use on themselves when they are tired, embarrassed, scared, or alone will sound a lot like what they heard early and often. That is why this matters more than it seems. Most of parenting feels like reacting to obvious needs: food, sleep, safety, routines, medicine, clean clothes, the 1,000 visible tasks that prove love in practical form. But so much of your child's future will be shaped in places you cannot fully enter, in the private tone they use when they fail, in the way they fill silence, in what they believe a voice is for: to control, to soothe, to perform, to hide, to ask, to endure. Years from now, when no one is in the room with them, they will still be speaking inwardly in some form. And part of that voice is being written now, before they can explain a single thing to you. That should sober you. It should wake you up a little, because children do not only remember what you taught them directly, they become the emotional climate they survived inside. So listen when your baby talks to themselves, not with suspicion, but with reverence. You are overhearing a mind learning how to be alone without disappearing. You are hearing the earliest draft of conscience, comfort, memory, and selfhood, all spoken in a language that is still half music and half need. Do not treat it as background noise. Do not assume silence means nothing is happening. Some of the most important conversations of your child's life begin before they know any real words, and the voice that answers them may be the one you gave them,